So hello, you're welcome to Dynamics User Group Lagos State. And I'll just start by introducing first. My name is Joan Onachuku, and today we're going to be having an interesting webinar session on Business Central. So it's going to be introductory, and we promise you it's something you're going to really enjoy. We have a very experienced Business Central consultant in the house and developer in the house. So this is really amazing. You're welcome again. I am happy to have you here. If you can hear me, kindly put out your favorite emoji. Okay, yeah. So still in the spirit of sharing and introducing, I will be introducing Dynamics User Group Lagos to us. So I'll just share my screen now. Sorry, please, can anyone see my screen yet, please? Just need to be sure.
Not yet from my end.
Okay. Only hold on. Okay. Just can you see my screen now?
Yes, your phone screen, I can see it now.
Yes, of course. So hi everyone, you're welcome again. I'm going to be introducing Dynamic User Groups to you. It's just going to be a 5 minutes introductory thing. So you're welcome. This is an amazing community of people, users, administrators, developers, and partners. But it doesn't matter if you are just new to tech, or you're intermediate in tech, or you're actually an expert in tech. This is the place for you. Over here, we talk about everything Dynamics 365. Okay, so this is a great place. This is a community where you bond, where you learn, where you share as well. If you have any questions, for you to know more about Dynamics User Group, which is the first international community first, you just head on to www.dynamicsusergroup.com as shown on the screen. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what Dynamics User Group is about and how it came to be. Okay, Dynamics User Group was founded in 1995 in the USA. And it's a free community for users, as I had mentioned, for implementers, for resellers of Microsoft business applications, on all things Microsoft Dynamics 365, Dynamics GP, and Power Platform. So I believe you've also heard of Power Platform as well. But if you haven't, this is the right place for you. There are so many webinars we have on data analytics, on Power Apps. We had the last one we had last month was on Power Apps, and it was super amazing. The previous month we had one on data analytics, so it just goes on that way. And Dynamic User Group has over 40,000 community members worldwide. We also have Dynamic User Group programs called DUG programs. So most times instead of saying Dynamic User Group, you just say DUG, right, for short. So we have a DynamicsCon virtual event, okay, that takes place. Also, we have the in-person event as well, but it would require that you would have to travel to the USA. Okay, so most times we join virtually. But if you are, I mean, a green card holder or you're a citizen, I mean, why not? You can go there and meet people and, have fun and learn everything you need to learn. And there are also free online open forum discussions. And if you get onto this website, you can see if you have a question to ask, you can go there and ask any question and you meet other members who are ready to help. We have regional meetups, and this is really amazing and interesting. Funny enough, Dynamic User Group Lagos is having one next month. We're planning towards one. So we hope you'll be there too. It'd be really great to meet you there in person. So we're having a regional meetup here in Lagos, and the date, time, and venue will be communicated to you. All you have to do is register. And of course, don't forget to invite your friends and your other tech friends as well. We have on-demand conference session and recordings, and we have solutions and services also from ISVs and partners. So if you actually work with a firm that uses Microsoft Dynamic products, you can choose to be partners with us, and we could see how we could work together. So yeah, I think that is about that. Hold on. Yeah. So yeah, you're welcome. And today, I hope you can still hear me, so I'm just going to keep speaking. So today we are going to be having a session, Business 101, Business Central 101. Hold on, I just need to stop sharing this. So we're going to be having Business Central 101 today, and our trainer is Sheriff Busari Olubagbemiga. He is a foremost Business Central developer, very experienced, and I believe this session is going to be really, really interesting. There's so much you can do with Business Central if you're into business operations. This is where you're meant to be. Okay, so yeah, so you're welcome. So Sheriff, you can take it up from here. I'm actually trying to.
All right, thank you, John. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sharing my screen as well. Please let me know
Okay,
when
I
you
just
can
stopped
see
sharing mine. Okay. Awesome. I can see it now. Clear.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So, okay. So, welcome to the introduction to Microsoft Dynamics 365. And then we'll be working together on this journey of Business Central, an introduction to Business Central. So I don't know if we have people who are already familiar with the system already. That's with Business Central already. Maybe you are using it. You are a user. You are a consultant. You are a developer, or you are a partner, or you are an ISV. And sort of things like that. I would just gladly that you help me fill that poll or question that I asked on the uh, channel there, so I can know how to drive this discussion. Hello, I hope we can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, Sheriff.
Yeah, and can we confirm that we can see the question as well? Okay, this question here. Do we have people in the house who are do we have people in the house.
Okay, so I'm
We have
trying
about
to. Sure, you say you sent questions, right? I can't see yet.
yeah. So I created a Q&A,
Okay.
and I want to confirm that everyone can see it.
Sherry, sorry. If there might be an issue with people seeing it, if you're using the web version, you might not be able to, unless you switch to using the app. I think that's the issue here.
Okay, it's a Q&A. Let me see if I can paste the question in. Can we confirm if we can see the questions on the chat now?
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. All right, so all right, I would love to get feedback on this so that I will know how to drive this. Okay, thanks, Oladimeji. Okay, thanks, Kikelomo. Okay, thanks, Opeyemi. We have others. Please let's vote. I'm waiting for maybe 1 or 2 people more so that I can go ahead. We have others. Kindly vote. Okay, I'll just leave it for 1 minute there, and then if we don't have any other person voting, so I'll just proceed. Okay, I guess I'll just proceed then. Okay, thanks, Femi. Okay, so we have like two B's and 2 C's. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let me just proceed. So I guess this would be a complete introductory, you know. So, and I would not be going too deep. For some of us who are professionals, although I didn't see any D there, like the advanced people there, and maybe the C people as well. Well, it would not be it would not be a waste of time. Yeah. So, because what we are doing actually is that this is the first class for Business Central functional consultant aspects. And then I think it would be more advisable and make more sense that we go from, the very basics so that others who are new can also catch up. I know that some people have not even seen the Business Central environment before. So I will just go ahead and then continue with my slide. Please confirm that you can see my slide now.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I
All
can.
right, thank you very much. All right, so as a form of introduction, my name is Busari Sharif, and I'm a D365 ERP developer. I work with Hashem Limited. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and I love to listen. I love listening to music. Yeah, that's just a brief about me. I'm a man. I'm a male. Yeah. So on this slide, I have some agenda or outline that I will be talking about just briefly, and then we go into the demo. So first thing I will talk about my Dynamics 365. That's the whole package of Dynamics 365. Then I will talk about what ERP is, and then I'll go down to what Business Central is before we go to a demo, and then questions and answers if there are any. So firstly, I'll talk about Microsoft Dynamics 365. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is actually a suite of application, that is built by Microsoft, and that's why we have Microsoft there. And that is built by Microsoft to undo day-to-day processes and activities of an organization. Say for example, an organization that manufactures, they do maybe they produce tire or something like that. So they will have different activities that they perform in such organizations, including their finance or accounting aspect, also their sales, and then maybe purchase of raw materials, and also they will have customers. So the suite of application that is built by Microsoft to handle all of these processes in one system is what we call Dynamics 365. Yeah, although we can then have different applications under this Dynamics 365, but generally they work hand in hand. So, which is what I'm showing here. So, we have the Business Central under the Microsoft Dynamics 365, or D365 for short. So, we have the marketing application, we have the one for field service, we have the one for project service automation, retail, we have finance and operations, we have talents and sales and customer service. So all these applications are actually, suite of applications under the Dynamics 365 ecosystem. So I go forward to show just a graphical representation of what I'm talking about in more detail. So under this suite of applications, so they can actually be divided into two segments or categories. So the first one is the customer relationship management, or it is also called customer engagement. And then we have the enterprise resource planning side of things. So the customer engagement or CRM side of things is used to manage, our day-to-day activities with our customers, and then field service and marketing, things like that. So that's what the CRM category does. So under this category, so we have some apps or modules like that under the CRM. So we have the sales, we have the project operations, we have customer service, marketing, and field service. So that's what the CRM does. So it helps us to interface and then streamline our activities and processes around managing our customer and the sales and marketing and things that involves we interacting with our customers. So basically in-house activities within the organizations. So we have something like the supply chain management, so we have something like the finance, which is peculiar to the organization itself. So it's internal to the organization. We have the project operations, we have commerce, and then human resources. So we have some modules. This can also be broken down into some smaller modules or segments, really, but these are like the major ones. Why we can see that we have some arrows or some lines with the color blue, we have two of them as green color. Then these two that are green color are actually an application on their own. Just as we have the customer engagement to be an application, So enterprise resource planning is not an application, it's just a name, or it's just a name that's, that covers both of these applications called Business Central and Finance and Operations. So Business Central also is called BC, and Finance and Operations is called F&O. So we have the Business Central as an application on its own, which is an ERP system. Then we have the Finance and Operation also on its own, which is also an ERP system on its own. So this is the categories that I would like to make the difference on before we go into what Business Central is specifically. So what now is the enterprise resource planning, just as I've mentioned. So it's the software that is used to automate and manage your core business processes within your organization. So it coordinates everything that you can, have as processes or activities in your organization. Say maybe your supply chain, like I mentioned, your human resource activities, and also your financial data and things like that. So ERP helps you to streamline and also manage and automate all of these your processes in a single application. And I mentioned that we have two applications under this category of ERP. So we have the Business Central and we have the Finance and Operations. All right. So, but before I go, to talk about the Business Central. So these two, the Business Central and the Finance and Operation, are actually from Microsoft. Yeah. And although we have other ERP systems that are not from Microsoft, but ERP generally are categorized. ERP generally now are categorized under two tiers. So the first tier and then the second tiers. So the first tiers are actually ERP systems that are built for multinational organizations, and the Fortune 4, Fortune 500 organizations, so large organizations. So that's what the tier one kind of applications fall into. So the finance and operation from Microsoft, fall into the tier one kind of applications or ERP applications. So we have SAP as well in that line. So on the tier two, so these are the ERP systems that are basically built or by different OEMs, maybe not necessarily Microsoft alone now and others. So these are systems that are ERP that are built, to suit the processes and the activities of a small to medium scale enterprise, So all others that do not fit into the tier one fall under the tier two category. So we have the Business Central in this case. So Business Central that we'll be talking about today fall in this second category. And we have other ones like Acumatica and several others like that. So, but some of them are actually more streamlined than the others. Say, for example, maybe there are some ERP that majorly focus on manufacturing. There are some ERP that majorly focus on the finance, But Business Central actually accommodates a lot of things within the system itself. So I'll move on to Business Central. So Business Central, like I said, is built for small to medium scale enterprise. And then it's actually an ERP system for, organizations who are outgrowing their, manual method or their legacy systems that they use currently in the organization, but they want something that is more robust, that can cater for their, processes and give room for growth, because it's actually one thing that for one to actually have a system, but it's another thing for a system to actually accommodate an organization's growth. So, and that's one of the key areas that Business Central have. So it's give room for growth and then, what have you in the organization. So there are different modules in the Business Central ERP application. So we have the project management, as you can see on the screen, the financial management, some little bit of customer relationship management as well, not as robust as the customer engagements that I showed earlier. Then we have the warehouse management, we have the human resource management and supply chain management. So all these ones that are in this blue color above, they actually fall under the essential essential experience of the application, while the service management and the manufacturing, which are the other two in the other color below, so fall under the premium experience of the application. So yeah, so at this junction, I would just like to go, because my aim is not to walk us through the demo for a long time, yeah, because the focus is majorly to go into the demonstration aspect of it. I don't know if there's any question at this level before I just go ahead and then.
Okay,
So
thank
I'll
you
take
very
the
much,
silence as
Terry.
none.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. So
Hello. Yeah.
I noticed that CRM appeared under ERP, under Business Central, and then also appeared in the other branch. Sorry, can you go back to the first slide? The first slide that showed the branches. Okay, yes. So Dynamics is broken down into CRM and ERP. And then under Business Central, I noticed that there's also CRM in Business Central. So what's the difference between the both of them? The first branch, which is the CRM, that is broken down into sales and project operations, and then the CRM in the Business Central, underneath Business Central. I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I do. I actually mentioned it briefly while I was talking. So the CRM here is actually a more robust application, a standalone application outside of the ERP, which is also called customer engagements. So but the one in Business Central is actually like a smaller version of it, of what the CRM. CRM is just like a broad term that could be used for any application that can manage your customer relationship in the sense of it. So but there's a particular application by Microsoft called customer engagement that is built specifically to be robust as that, to manage every processes and activities that you have within the organization that you want to manage as your customer relationship. So, but in the ERP side of the Business Central specifically now, so we have just a little, fragment or portion or something like that to mimic just briefly what the major one does, so that it's, because we still interface with customers as well within the ERP, yeah, because we sell to them, right? So we need to engage them. So we have some things like opportunities. We can create customers. We can create different relationships in that regard. So, but it's not as robust as the CRM part, which is majorly for customer management, relationship management. I hope I am able to answer the question.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you too. All right, so so now I would just go ahead to the demo section. So like I said, we'll be having it. I have about 10 things to talk about here, and well, I'm not very sure if the time would allow, but I would do my best to pack everything in it so that we can have a good time together. All right, so this is the interface for Business Central. Meanwhile, I'm first going to start by showing us how we can log into the system. For someone who is absolutely new to the system. So the first thing is you need to log in or sign in into the system. So you have what we call the URL to use. So this is what the URL looks like in for you to log into the Business Central environment. So you have businesscentral.dynamics.com. So when you enter your URL on your web browser, so it's going to open Business Central for you, and then you will see a page that will request you to sign in, and then you because I've already signed in, and then this session is still on, so it's going to take me straight to my system and to my client. So, but that's the URL for you to sign in, and then regardless of your tenant, or I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid myself using too many technical words because of the beginners in our midst. So maybe you belong to a company. Yeah, let me use that word. So you belong to a company or an organization, and then this is the general login page or login URL that you can use to sign in into your system. However, when you click sign in, it will request for your username and password, or your email and password. So it's going to take you to your own specific company's page, where depending on your permission and your license and things like that, so it will take you to where you ought to be. So in this case, I've already signed into mine, and also you can see at my own URL that I have something that is appended at the end of this URL called dev for app source. So that is actually my environment. So there may be a little difference between when you are logging in into the cloud version of it and then the on-premise version of it. So let me just quickly talk about the on-premise version. So the cloud and on-premise version. So for the cloud version is the one that is actually hosted on the cloud, Azure Cloud by Microsoft, where you just take your own portion and then buy your own portion and use Business Central. So as simple as that it can be. While the on-prem version is the one that you download by yourself and then you host it on your own server by your organization. When I mean by yourself now, I mean organization. It could also be individual, I don't know. So but you have your own server and infrastructure where you install the Business Central on your own server, to use it outside of it. So the login URL will now not be the same as this one, which is the cloud version that I'm using. So when you purchase Business Central from Microsoft, so you will have 4 environments if it is the cloud, or otherwise called SaaS version. So if it is the cloud, you will have 4 environments. You have 1 production environment, and then you will have 3 sandbox environments. Say sandbox means where you can just try things out, like a workshop, where you can test things out, and so that's what sandbox really is in the layman sense of it. While production is where your live data will reside. So in this case now, I have my environment, which is called the dev for app source, and in this particular case, this dev for app source environment is a sandbox environment and not a production environment. So the next thing I will be talking about is the clients. So when we talk about the client, so it means that, take for example, how are you accessing Business Central? So I could access, say, Business Central on the web, just as we have here. I could also access it on my mobile. So this makes the name for, if I'm accessing on the web, I could say I'm accessing my web client. And if I'm accessing from my mobile phone, I could say I'm accessing via the mobile client. I hope that is clear. So that's what we mean by client. So when we say client or your Business Central client, so we talk about whether it is a web client or mobile clients or some other, maybe Windows or desktop and things like that, client. So then the next thing that I will talk about is the role center, because when you first log in, it is going to take you to a particular home page where you are going to see. So depending on the kind of setup that has been set up for you as a user, so will determine what you will see at your first login in. So because I have a role, in my organization, I'm just assuming now maybe I am an accountant, or I'm an account manager, or I'm a salesperson, I'm a warehouse person, whatever in my organization. That is my role. So in that case, a role center can be created for me because of due to my role in the organization. So based on my role, when I log into Business Central with the role that is assigned to me, so it's going to show me an home page that is designed specifically for my own role. I hope that is clear as well. So it is a role-based system. Say, for example, if I'm an accountant, I can design the role center. So the role center is what we are seeing, what we call the home page, really. So it can be designed for me to see what is specific to my own role only, So, but that does not restrict me from, if I have the permission as well. So that does not restrict me from doing other things in the system, even though I may not see everything that pertains to other people on my home page. But I could also switch role from one role. I could also switch from one role to another. So in this case now, so the first thing we are seeing here is called the application bar. So we have the application bar, which is the first thing, this area which we are seeing at this level here. So we have this hamburger here that gives us other applications that work hand in hand with Business Central. So I could go to the Microsoft 365 platform, or Power Automate, or my admin center. That's the Microsoft 365 admin center, or Power Apps, Business Central. So perhaps maybe not all applications are listed here. So then you can say more apps. It's going to show you other applications that you can use in your organization. Then the next thing we see here is the name of the platform that we are currently logged into. So if I'm logged into customer relationship management, I will see that there. But because I'm logged into Business Central, so that's why I'm seeing Dynamics 365 Business Central. If it is finance and operation, I would see finance and operations there. Then the next thing is this available companies or my environments that I have. So I have, like I said you have 4 environments when you are working on the SaaS, so, or cloud version of Business Central. So I have 4 environments in this case. So I have this. I have the dev for app source. I have the Ashab Limited production. I have my dev environment, and then all this. So under this, under each environment, then I can have multiple companies. I can have more than one company. I can have a single company, and as the case may be in my organization. So I could say I want to switch to this my company here. Instead of using Kronos company, then I'll just click on the company that I want to switch to, and I will say switch. I could say switch. Sorry. Can everyone still hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can.
I can see my screen
Clearly. Yes, I can see your screen. You're on the chat now.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, can you see Business Central, please? Hello.
We're close to the hamburger. Yes, I can see your screen. I can see the homepage. I can see now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, not anymore.
Sorry.
Not anymore. I think you'd have to share that again.
Yeah, please. Sorry, I just a moment. Okay, please let me.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, you're back.
You can see it again when it's up.
Yes, I can see your screen now, sure.
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. So I said we have different environments in this regard. So now I could switch from one organization to another in this, or company in this regard here. So I could say, I could click on switch, and then it will switch this particular tab here. So then I could click on this arrow and say open a new tab, which is going to open another tab for me. So that's what this available company is for me. Then we have Copilot. So, so Microsoft is actually doing a lot in this space recently, and it's almost in almost all the applications or platforms that Microsoft have now. I've not seen any that you won't find Copilot there, although it's still in preview version in Business Central here. So I could ask Copilot questions, say for example, something like this within Business Central. I could say, how do I release a sales order on Business Central? So it's going to generate and give me the detail concerning that on the system. So as we can see, it says I open the first step is to open the sales order, and then in the action bar, click release button, and then it will give you the reference from where it got this. So this is the reference. You can also click on it to learn more about that particular process. So it's a very handy tool for us. So we could just ask it any question, at least as far as the knowledge can take, it will give you a reply. And if something that is not relevant to what it can answer you or is going to reply you as well in that regard. Then we have the search button here. So this search button is actually a handy tool in the whole Business Central application or software, where whatever you want to do on the system, say you want to go to a particular page on the system, this is how you navigate, at least one of the ways, which is I think the mostly used way to actually navigate the system. As you can see, that the system does not have, this fancy dashboard or menu icons that you can click here and click and click there. So, but what we do here is, let's take for example, under the human resource module, I want to open the employee. I want to check the employees on the system. So I type employee. And one beautiful thing about this is that I don't necessarily have to type everything in full before it gives me the page that I want to load. So as far as I can just maybe give the first three letters of the page or something that I want to do, it can recognize that. And even if it is more than a particular word, like this employees now, it's one word. Say maybe I want to see something like employee templates, so I can give space and then okay. So okay, let's say maybe item template. Sorry for that. So I could just give space and then it gives me the complete page that I probably want to go to. So it's not compulsory that you type in the full word if you want to search for something. So, and this search also is called tell me, tell me what you want to do, just as we have it here. So it's also called tell me. And then we have notification bar here or button here, which shows you notifications that you may have on the system, per time, but presently there's nothing there. Then we have the settings icon or button there. So on this part, actually, I will be talking maybe on some things, maybe not everything, but I'll try to talk about almost everything possible. So the first thing I'll talk about is this personalized. So this personalized actually helps you or gives you the ability to be able to personalize your system to yourself, like the application to how you want it to look, what you want to see, as a user. And one thing about this personalized feature is that whatever you do here is specifically to your own user. So because as I logged in, once I logged in into Business Central, it's going to request, my email or my username and then my password. So because I log in with a credential, so I'm a I'm a user in the system once I'm successfully logged in. So I'm a user in the system. So whatever I do as that user under personalized, it is specific to me and not to any other user. Say maybe Mr. B as well comes into the system and logs into the system. Whatever you have personalized here would not affect what Mr. B will see. So I can just go ahead and click personalize. So I could come here and say, okay, there's something called my paycheck approval here. So I could say, well, I don't want to see my paycheck approval again if I log in. Then I would say hide. So it's going to hide that. Then I could say, okay, maybe let's leave this one. And then under sales here, or let me click this drop down here, and maybe under sales here, and then I want to see, I don't want to see which one. Okay, let me say I don't want to see this issued finance charge memo. Then I could say that hide it, or I could also move it. So it could be personalized to however you want it to be. So, and then to whatever you want to see, you can personalize it. And the beauty is that it's only for what you, for your own particular user in that regard. So you can also say maybe I have on my items, let me say open. Let's give a moment for it to open here. So let's say maybe on my on this page that I just opened, I will get to explain some things on this regard later. So say on this page that I open, I want to see some fields, but the fields are actually not there. And then, but I always need this field to show whenever I log in and then open my items page here. So I can just come here and say this plus field button. I would click it, and I can say, I can also say maybe there are some fields here that are showing that I don't want to see. I could also remove that. I can also rearrange them and maybe move from one place to the other. So I could say I want to see, okay, let's pick this one when it is blocked. And when an item is blocked, I could just pick it and then drag and drop here, and then we can have it here, you know. So that's the personalized action. And once I'm done with personalizing, so you can personalize almost any page on the system, you know. So it's something that is very handy, and then you can use a lot of time. So if I eventually say maybe, okay, I don't want to personalize it anymore, maybe for some reasons, I could say clear personalization. If I've personalized some actions, which are these, and then I could say clear it, and then, or clear only fields and columns that are personalized, or I want to clear everything. And if I'm not doing that, I could just say done. So that's that for personalization. Then the next thing we have is the design. So the design is also something similar to that personalization, but in this regard now, whatever you design here is actually going to affect everybody in the organization. That's one difference between the personalized and design. So it's going to affect everybody. But in design, you can actually see how it will look on different clients, what the view would be on different clients. So I could say this is the desktop view, or I could say this is the tab view. So it's going to load for me what, yeah, so as we can see, this is how it's going to look on the tab. And but I'm going to switch back to the desktop view of it. So I could do this as well on the design as well. So it's the same thing on this on for the design. One other thing that is different in the design, from the design and then the personalized aspect, is the fact that this design actually only appears for you on the sandbox environment. So you cannot do the design on the production environment. So, but what you can do is after you have designed, say maybe I finished designing, and I can click on stop designing. And okay, sorry, I didn't design anything. All right, so inspecting. So I could say I want to add field or action or whatever. But let me do this and then hide this one. So if I say stop designing, it's going to ask me to save what I have designed as an extension. I would also get to the extension part. I also get to the extension part. So then after I save it as an extension, it is going to get installed on my Business Central application. Then I can also download it as a code or a source code for a developer to, work more on it. And then from there, I can then publish it or install it on the production environment. But because this design button or function or feature is actually not in the production environment. So that's why we go through this route when you design. So that's about design, but I'm not going to save that. So then the next thing is my settings. Please pardon me. I would try to be a bit faster now because I just checked the time. All right, so then the next thing is my settings under this settings icon here. Then I have the role. So currently I'm the business manager. So that's why I have this role. Then I can also change from whatever role that I am currently to another role that I probably want to see, say maybe accountant, and then I'll click OK. So once I click OK, it's going to refresh or reload the browser for me and change and switch from the business manager role to the accountant role. And then the view, which is the role center, which is the home page, will change by and show me the things that are related to accountant's job. And also we have the company here, so which is currently the company that I am logged into. So but currently I have two companies under this environment that I showed here up earlier. Then the work dates it could be the current date. You can change, you can backdate, or you can change the date as you may deem fit. It's going to be used to perform transactions when you are performing transactions. Say maybe you want to post something in the system, and then maybe you want to backdate it. You can change your work date. So whatever work date that is here is what will be used by the system in some transactions in the system. Then we have the region, so you can also change your region, the language, the time zone, and then you change when I receive notifications. So teaching tips, okay, for teaching tips, I could say, let's say maybe I open, okay, let me say I open vendors, and then on vendors, it's going to show me something like this. And then I could say take a tour, and then it's going to show me some tips of how to navigate the system. And that's what the teaching tip does. So if I switch it off, if I turn it off on this page here, and then I say okay, so I go back and then say vendor, so it's gone. So that's what the teaching tip does in this regard. So then the next thing, okay, so it's the legacy action bar. So some actions that have been changed over the course of time because of upgrade and updates and from Microsoft. So they've changed the way it looks. But if you want to switch back to that, so you can just turn this on, and then your cloud storage where your files are being stored presently, and then your last login, it's going to show for you there as well. So still under the settings, I have my company information. So this is where I fill all the informations that are peculiar to my company. So I could fill in the company's picture, the address, the phone number or communications, payments, and then every other things I can fill here. So earlier I talked about premium and essential. So because it's a sandbox, I can also switch from between essential and premium just to see the features and how I can go. I also have company badge here, so which is something that would help me to differentiate between different companies that I log into. So once I fill this in and then I enable it, so it's going to show for me here whatever text that I fill here or color that I pick here. So it's going to show for me here. So this is things that we can actually explore, but I'm not going to go into that because of the time now. So then we have the assisted setup. So the assisted setup is going to help me to set up the system using a wizard, So like maybe I want to set up my sales tax. So once I click it, so it's going to show me, okay, sorry, it says I already have set it up, and then that's why this checkbox is checked, this one. So I could say, okay, set up exchange rate services. So I could set this up here, or some other ones I could say enter company detail. So it's a wizard that will help me, guide me through process step by step to do all of those things in the system. So that's what the assisted setup does. So I could say next, and then next, and then next, and then until I finish setting it up in that regard. So that's what assisted setup does. So advanced settings also is similar, but in this case, it's specific to some things. So I could say I want to set up my extensions. So extensions are, applications that are built outside, that is built to help to enhance the capabilities of Business Central. It is not everything that Microsoft can do for an organization, because every organizations have peculiar or something that is specific to them, and Microsoft maybe does not provide for that within the system. So there are several applications that have been built for that purpose. So, and then you can go and then install those into your system. So that is what extension is. So I could also do set up my service connections, or do some manual setup as well on the system, or workflow as the case may be. So I could let me just do this. So if it is user permission that I want to set up, if it is dimensions or human resources setup, whatever settings that I may be looking for within the system, it's I could also find it here, and then do the setup manually myself. And then the next thing is the page scripting. Page scripting is actually a relatively new feature in Business Central. So what it does is just like it records my actions or activities within the system, like what I'm doing, and it allows me to save this so that this could be used by for automation or for testing, maybe by a developer or someone else in the organization that want to see how those things work. So I can also share the script after I have finished testing. So I'm just going to just run a small demo. Then I say start. So now it's recording my steps. So I could say maybe vendors. Then it says I navigate to vendors. Then on the page vendors was shown. Then I could say I open this Fabricam, which is a vendor. It will say that I invoke row control 1 on row control 1. Then page vendor card was shown. So after I'm done doing whatever I want to do, so I could say stop. And then I will save the recording here. So it would say, and then I could say yes, and then it would request the name. Also, I can share this with someone, within the organization via the link. So whoever clicks this is going to see this. All right. So then I can also change the properties here. Say maybe I want to rename this recording. So instead of it showing test recording, I could say open vendor. And then that's the description. So when the person opens it, you can just click on play, or for the person to open it, you just come here after they have the file, after you've saved the file here, then the person can open recording to import the file and then click on play. So it's going to show us the steps that the person took and what the person did, and then shows us if there's a there's a break or something, it's going to show us as well whether there is an error here as well. So, but in this case, there's no error. Everything works fine. So that's what page scripting does. It's relatively new and it's also still in preview. Then the admin center is where the page that gives us, it's actually not within this client here. So it will open another page for us where we can actually manage our business central environments and then the system outside of here. So it helps us to manage the environment, notifications, and monitor things on the environment. I will not go too deep on this, yeah, because maybe in subsequent webinars we will be talking more about the admin center. So, but just for an high level of explanation of things, so I have here the 4 environments that I said you can have as a partner or an organization with Microsoft. Then we have these 3, which you can see here. The type is sandbox, 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 and then we have the one which is production, and each of them are actually active. I have environment transfer, so maybe I want to transfer this data for AppSource into another person's tenant or something. So I can do that. I can also see the recently deleted environment if I have deleted any sandbox environment precisely. So I could say I want to see it. Maybe I want to restore it or something. Then I could see the notifications or Microsoft Entra apps that I have on the system or telemetry to help me measure or monitor usage and errors and things like that on the system. So if you have reported any outage on the system for Business Central, maybe there's issues that you have, and you can also do that on these reported outages, and then it will show here for you. You can also see operations that are actually being performed on the system here, so it will show you here. So you can be specific as to which environment you want to see, and for if it is all environments or for a particular environment. And you can also see your capacity for the whole of the environment. So currently it is 80 gig for that's the 80 gig database for this for the ERP environment entirely, and I've used just a little of it, so I have 79 gig left. And then I can also see detail uh, of my environment or tenant, as the case may be. So currently I have my quota of environments. I have 1 of 1 used for production, and then I have 3 of 3 used for sandbox because the total is 4. So I'll go back to the web clients of Business Central. Okay, yeah, so that's it for this. And then for this one here, so I could just change my theme. So the theme is actually what we are seeing here. So if I change it to something else, so it gets applied immediately as such. So, but personally, I like this theme, so I love that. Then you can change your language, your password, and other things like that. No, sugar. Let me take it back. So that's it. Then the next thing is the help button or action here. So I could go to Microsoft Learn from here. I could read about all of these, resources and things like that. But what I want to talk majorly on is this one, the keyboard shortcut. So sometimes you just don't want to, begin to use your mouse to navigate around or do some things. Maybe you are the type that likes, using keyboard shortcut. Take, for example, I want to open the Tell Me or the search bar, which I talked earlier, this one here, so this one here. So instead of me just using my mouse to do this, I could just say Alt Q. So it's going to open that Tell Me search box or search bar for me, and then I can do whatever search I want to do. So if you want to see the list of all available shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts in the system, just click this. It's going to open another page, and then you will see the shortcuts. Then the next thing I want to show you is this help and support on the system. So for the help and support, you can also see a lot of things. You can learn about the current card or the current page that you are currently on, find help and things like that. You can also go to the blog and then do several things like that as well. Okay, then you can view last known errors and then do inspect pages. So let me talk about this inspect pages and data. So this inspect pages and data actually gives me more insights to the data that I have on my page, because not everything will be shown on this current page that I'm on. So there are some fields that I won't see on this page that I'm checking presently. But however, this inspect page or page inspection actually gives me, more view into what is actually going underneath in the system, in the table. So I could see a lot, or all the fields that are actually in the table. So I can see and check everything like that. If there's any extensions on this, if there's page filter on this, so I can see it. And if I want to open the table, like to see the back end, like what is actually in the whole table of it, so I could just click on this view table and then it will help me in that regard. So that's what one thing that is also handy. So it actually helps maybe when you are working with a developer, or there are some fields that you want to see but it's actually not here, and then you cannot also personalize it, because it's not all fields that you can actually bring to the forefront when you are personalizing. All right, so one more thing here is the community, which also is a very useful one. So if you click here, it's going to take you to the community platform. It will request you that you sign in or you create an account if you have not. So you sign in and then you can post your questions, whatever questions you have, it actually will get answered on that platform. As far as it is some relevant, it's a relevant question, it will get answered on that platform for you. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about, I'll go back to the role center. And so to go back to the role center, I'll just click on the name of the company here, which is Kronos USA. So I'll click it and then it takes me back to the role center. So then we have the navigation menu, so which shows me the the actions or modules that I can actually interact with within the system. So if I click the drop down, so this is like our own icons, in Business Central. So if I want to go to general journals, I could just click general journals. It takes me to that page. If I want to go to fixed assets, it takes me there. If it is under cash management, then I can do that. If it is under sales, I can do that, or purchasing, whatever it is, I can do that. Then we have the navigation bar, which is just a bunch of other actions or links that takes me to a page, but actually I can bring more here by bookmarking it. I'm going to show us bookmark later in the in the in the training. All right, so then the next thing is this banner here, but I could just close this. And then I have, after, if you are logging into the system, mostly freshly, and then you don't want to show that, so you can just close that. And then you have the headline here. It shows you the headline. So it keeps switching, and then you can get just a brief insight into the system and what's going on in the application. Then you have the action bars here, or action list here, so which is just like a quick way of getting to what you want to do. So if I click one of the actions here, so it's going to help me and then open the page for me to be able to create a purchase order in that regard. So it's a one-stop shop, where a quick navigation tool that we can use in the system. Then we have the activities or action queues in this case. So it gives me insight into also the data and the numbers of things in the system. So if I want to see, it gives me a quick overview of what's actually going on within the system. So let's say maybe this is sales for this month. So I can quickly have the figure. And if I want to see the detail of it, I'll just click on it, say see more, then it's going to show me the detail for that particular customer, for that sales for that particular month, and then for the customer ledger entries. So I can see that. I can also click on this one, which is the overdue sales amount. It shows me the detail of those things. If I have ongoing sales, which is this as well, so I can see the sales codes that I have currently. So there are two. I have two sales orders currently, And then for payments, unprocessed payments, not all of them are actually clickable. Some of them are actually just for you to see. So like this one is not clickable. See, average collection days. So there is not clickable, while some are clickable. So for those that are clickable, you will see the icon or the mouse, the cursor, it will change from this pointer to this finger, pointed finger. So it will change, and then every other things like that in the system. So then the next one is the insights on this, still on this role center. So the insight gives me, the view, or the holistic view, just some glance into what is actually going in the system as well, in regards to the business performance. So this actually is something that is very handy, especially for managers and top level guys there. So I could see it there. So I could also change from here. Maybe I don't want to see this top 5 customers by sales value. So I could say next chart is going to load the next chart for me. So which is the cash cycle, and which it is by month. It's showing by month now. And if I don't want to see it that way, I could say by day. So it's going to load that for me by day. I could change it. And if I want to go to a particular, chart, I could just say select chart here, and then I'll pick whichever one I want to pick here. So that's that on that one. Then for the favorite account, maybe there are some accounts that I actually want to see insight into, at a glance. So I could come in and then pick any one of them. So I could say manage list here, and then it shows me all the list. I could say I want to add another account, so maybe from my GL here. So I could just pick another one. So maybe I want to always be seeing the accounts on raw materials and how the balance is doing. So I could add that as well, and then it will show for me here. So that's that. Also, I have the trial balance, which will show here. I can also integrate my Power BI here, but currently I've not integrated Power BI here, but it's a possibility. So once you want to do that, just click get started. So the wizard will help you to do all of those things. And then the last one is this report inbox. So depending on your role, so it will change. The role center will change depending on the role that you log in with, or you are using. So it will change. The design is not all the same, but the structure is similar, but what you will see is not the same things. So this one will show me there's something called job queue. Don't worry, we'll get there maybe in future webinars. So something called job queue is just like something that helps me to run some things in the background, just automatically run it for me. Maybe I want to run it every day or every week or things like that. So it's going to help me. So in this case, I want to be running, maybe say a vendor list every day. I don't know why, but maybe that's just what I want to be running every day. So every day it will run for me, and then it will show me what I have in my report inbox here. So here, this is the one for 17th, that's yesterday, and this is the one for today. So once I open this, I click on this, it's going to show me that I can download it. Oh, sugar. Okay, I just got information that my time is up now, but Joanne, do I still have a grace period of maybe a few minutes to?
Okay, maybe we'll give you 2 minutes more. Can 2 minutes cover it?
2 minutes. No.
Yeah, take 3 minutes, because we need to actually, people might have questions, right? So you could take 3 minutes and just run through.
Okay, let me see what I can do with that. Thanks.
Okay, all right.
So if I click this, it's going to download for me, and then so then it would gray out like this. Currently it is bolded because I've not opened it. But once I open it, it's going to help me to download, because I already said the output type is PDF. Then the next thing I want to talk about quickly is we have different pages on the system. So we have the list, and then we have the list page, and then we have the card page. Although this can actually be broken down into different more than that, but just for a start, let's say we have a list and then we have a card. So different kind of pages. So because this is actually a different kind of page, what we are seeing here, this home page is another page, but it has its own name. And then, so let's say maybe items, I go to items. This is a list page. So because it is showing as a list here. So, but if I open one of these, let's say maybe I open salt, and then it will open as a card page. Now the difference, of course, we can see the difference is actually obvious. So the arrangement and the structure of it is one thing. But another thing is the fact that, the list actually gives me all items that I have in the system. So as you can see, I have several items on the system. So, but on the card, when I open the card, it's showing me a particular one, which is for salt. So that's one of the differences as well. So okay, so briefly, I will also talk there's a lot of pages that we can explore on the system. So this is the items page. I can also go to the vendors, customers, bank accounts, or any other page. If I don't know, I could just search and say, does this page exist on this? And then just type whatever page I want to go to in this search box here, and then it will take me to the page there. All right, so on this list page, there's actually a lot of things that we can do. So one of it, okay, let me show one just briefly. So Joan, please, once the 3 minutes is up, let me know, please. So here I can change the view, how I'm seeing it. So I can change from list, the way it's showing as a list here. I can say I want to see it as a tall tiles, which is going to show this way for me. And I can also change it and say I want to see it just as tiles alone, or small tiles this way. So it's going to show for me that way. But personally, I prefer this. And I don't know why, but I just prefer it. It suits me best. So also we have this share icon here, or button, so which I can actually download this particular page. This actually, you will see this on all list pages on the system. In fact, maybe on all pages, not all, but on most pages on the system. So if you click on open in Excel, it's going to download whatever page that you are on currently. It's going to download that data for you, and then you can open it in your Excel. And this edit in Excel, I would have shown us, I really love this because it's actually also handy. So this edit in Excel allows me to download this page into Excel, but I can edit it from Excel, and then I can publish it back to Business Central from Excel with a button, just a single click. So everything gets updated in Excel. Maybe from our next class, I'm going to show that. I think the time is very short for me. So I can do that. I can also share it on Teams. I can copy the link to this particular page that I'm seeing and then share with others, that want to see. So on this page, I can also search. I want to show filter, but let me first show this search button here. So this one is actually different from this one. So this one is an in-page search, which allows me to search items or things on a particular page that I'm on presently. So, but this one is a global one that searches all over the system itself. So there's two different. So if I say maybe I just want to see anything that has 10 in it, and then it's going to show me every item that have anything that has to do with 10 in it. So I have 10 in this, 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 so that's one thing about the search. So everything that consists 10 in it, or consists of whatever value that we are searching, let's say maybe AB, everything that has AB within it, so it's going to show me whatever it is. So in this case, I have AB in table, I have AB in adjust table, so it shows me that. So, but the counterpart of it is this filter. So filter allows me to search for specifics, like what exactly I want. So let's say maybe I want to say filter, I want to filter on number, the one that has number 1920. So I could use this drop down if I have that option, and then 1920 comes up. I pick that. So it shows me only 1920. That's not all. I can also combine with another filter, or okay, in this case, maybe that will not help me. So I can, let me click this and then say where quantity on hand is greater than 10, and then so it's going to show me everything, every items that have quantity on hand greater than 10. So if I clear this, it's going to show me other ones that are even less than 0, like this, like this, like this. So they are less than. So one of the difference between filter and search is that. So after I finish, maybe after I finish doing my filter, I can also save it. I can say save as, or click on this one and say quantity greater than 10, and that's it. So once I save it, it's saved. So anytime I could just go back to all, which will show me all my items, and if I want to see only the ones that are quantity greater than 10, I can click here and it would show me based on my filter. So I can go back to all and I close this filter. So anytime you can come back here and then pick your filter, you see this. And if you are not saying that, you can just come here under this all here, you will see quantity greater than 10. And other system defined, filters that have already been defined on the system. So you can pick any of these which item is blocked and which one, item quantities and things like that. So you have that luxury as well. All right. So there's something also called fact
Sorry
box
for
here.
interjecting. Sorry for
Okay.
interjecting, Sherry. A few minutes is up and even more.
Okay. All right. Let me conclude.
Okay, you're almost concluding. How much more?
I'm not almost. There's still a lot I wanted to show. Yeah, but let me just conclude with this, and then let me conclude with this, so we can just continue in subsequent webinars. Yeah.
Yes.
So for you to actually explore Business Central, you'll be needing the environment, to do, hands-on practice and things like that. So, but currently, you in Nigeria, you cannot spin up an environment for yourself or by yourself. You have to go through a partner. But for those, as many that may be interested, so we can actually add you to my own environment, and then our own environment, DUG. So we can add you to that, and then if you want to see for yourself, and maybe in the course of exploring you have some issues, you can also reach out to us. So for those that may be interested, please get in touch with us, and then we'll spin up the environment, or we add you as a user in the environment, and you can get your hands dirty on the system. So but in the meantime, there's where you can also continue learning. So before our next webinar, so you can just go to aka.ms/mb800, aka.ms/mb800, or you can just even type mb800 on Google. You would see the link there. Just open that, you will see it will take you to Microsoft Learn website, and then you'll be able to enroll there and then start learning on your own. And then that's one. Also, another one that can help you if you are someone that likes watching video tutorials, you can go to usedynamics.com. usedynamics.com. I will be sharing these links with us. So for those that may be interested, and so we can pick it up from there subsequently. Thank you very much. And I really wish to do more. I think I'm on the third or fourth item, really. So, and I have about 10 of them that I actually feel I wanted to talk about. So, but we'll see how we can speed it up, maybe next webinar, and then move from there. And even before the next webinar, you can reach out, and then we can work one or two things out together. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Joanne, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is me sending my clap emoji. Yes, because I think you did a great job. Yes, thank you so much, Sheriff Busari Ulubagbemiga. I like calling his full name. Yeah. So I believe this session was really insightful. I believe there was something that we actually like learned, one or two things. I mean, and there's more. I mean, as you can see, he didn't conclude everything, but there's still many more sessions we're gonna have subsequently. Every month there's always a DUG webinar, DUG Lagos webinar that is always been organized virtually. But I just want to also note that next month we are going to have a physical meetup. Back to this. In the meantime, if you check the chat conversation, you can see that some links were actually posted. And the first one is an MTM link, metrics that matter link. So, I mean, I believe you enjoyed this session, or I mean, if there's something you thought that you could be better, you could just go in there and share your experience on how this session went. Okay. So thank you so much again, Sherry. Thank you to all the attendees. I mean, you did well. Some of you are probably experiencing network issues, but notwithstanding, you still tried to make it here. Thank you, Oluwafemi Dada. Thank you, Oluwatobilola Fatusin. Thank you to our amazing Shrina, Sheriff Busari. Thank you, Abimbola Alo. Thank you, Adunola. Thank you, Ashanafi Tedesti. Thank you. Thank you, Olawole. Thank you, Opeyemi. Yeah, so please kindly fill that MTM link. Is very, very important. It's very important for our trainer as well. So please kindly fill it. Okay, I'm just going to indicate here again. MTM link I'm typing. Just in case you missed it. Okay. So that's the link. And also we have a group. So Dynamic User Group Lagos, we are a community of people that love everything Microsoft Dynamics 365. And we are always excited to have more people here. We care about your growth and your career development. So please kindly join our WhatsApp group. It's actually pasted in the comments section, the chat session. And we are also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. So just type DUG Lagos. There are still links that have been put down there for Instagram and Twitter. Just kindly follow it. Also, the links that are trainer that Sheriff dropped is also there too, so you can click and then get to it faster. Okay, so we are really happy to have you here. We're happy you learned something. If you have any questions, so we have like maybe I think we could just give like 3 minutes for questions. If you have any questions, please kindly raise your hand so that Sheriff could answer them. Any questions? So even if you don't have any question, maybe you could have a comment or two to drop. Please, we are happy to hear your voice. Okay, so Oluwatobilola asked the question. So yeah, Toby, you're up.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Sharif. So based on what you demoed, I noticed that there was a lot of information related to finance. So it's like I mean, the information displayed is similar to what like the finance guy or the finance person in a department would also have access to. So is this separation, or how do you differentiate like where the job of a central person starts from and where it ends relative to the finance guy? I don't know if my question is clear.
Okay, I assume that I understand the question, so let me try to answer. So yeah, Business Central is a system, right? but we have different people that can, engage with the system. So we have users. Say maybe you are in an organization and then you you have a particular role and then you want to use the system. Say for example, human resource manager or human resource officer, you can use the system as that. But we have other people who are not like user in that sense. They are consultants. So in this case now we call them functional consultants. So they can train you on how to use the system. They can translate your processes, your manual or your legacy system into the system to accommodate for how you run your system or your organization. They can help you for configure the system itself. That's like two different aspects now. So now, as in the aspect of the user, so because I'm thinking of answering your question well, so that's why I make these two distinctions. Then now streamlining it to the aspect of a user. So a user now could be an accountant, it could be a salesperson, it could be a warehouse manager, it could be a, whatever role you have in your organization, it could be that. So, but you know that for almost all of the activities that we do in the organizations, every of it still goes back into relating with money, finance, and that's why it's like you will see, a touch of finance or accounts in almost everything. So, but it's not just for finance people. Like items, the items page that I opened earlier, you will see that that's not finance. So it's someone else that will be creating items. Say maybe I want to create a sales order, so I want to or create a purchase order. We want to buy some things, maybe raw materials from vendor or supplier, So as a purchase person, I would be the one to create that, not necessarily the finance person. So there's different roles and actions or activities that people can perform within the system, but all of these things still tie back to money. And that's why you may see finance in some areas and places like that. I don't know if I am able to answer that question.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, so
All right.
one more question. So for the functional consultants, is the person expected to know like everything? Like is the person expected to know HR, how to like set up the HR department using Business Central, how to set up for finance and all of that? Or the functional consultant can focus on one aspect or one area?
So for a functional consultant, you are supposed to know everything. Yeah, but everything in this sense now uh, may be relative, because I've seen people, I think recently on Twitter, one of the top guys, in this system, you know, in this ecosystem, said something like, I think he said he has been using Business Central now for maybe close to 20 years, or I don't know. NAV and Business Central and GP, that's the what's it called, journey. So he has been using not just Business Central now, like from when he started, maybe 16 years or thereabout. So he has been using it, but even till now, there's still a lot of things that he's just getting to know now. Do you understand? So you can't know everything like that because you are not the one that built the system, but you are expected to know as much as you can as a functional person in the setup, and every other thing. So yeah, you're expected to know as much as you can know to set up the system and put it up for use, but there will still be a room for learning. In fact, there's always updates every month, from Microsoft. Every month, Business Central is being updated. And if you don't know, and maybe you thought what you knew before is still what is relevant today, no, you are mistaken. So you have to be, you know, you have to be ahead of that, and then get to understand that this update is something that you need to keep up with. As we are talking now, there's a new update that just came up. Maybe next month there will be another update, and then every month there's new updates, and then you go to the system, you see new things. You have to know that as well. And accumulative of this, if you are not following up, sum up to a lot of big things as well, that you will now be like, oh, I didn't know this. Maybe because they are new, no, but most of it actually, if you follow it, as they are being released, because each time they release new updates, there's usually this launch event for it, and then it is announced. You can join the event, you know what are the new things that are coming up before they even release it. You have insights to it, you know what they want to release. And once it is released as well in preview, you can use it, interact with it. You can even give your comments to Microsoft and tell them how you've used it, what you think would be better, and things like that. So you have to just keep up with the trend, as a consultant. I believe I'm able to answer that. And if not, you can just give me a follow-up
Yes,
question.
thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Toby, for that question. Thank you, Sherry, for your answer as well. Is there any other person that would love to ask a question, please? All right. In the absence of none, please kindly indicate if you have actually filled that metrics that matter form. I'd love to know if you have filled it already. Okay, Abimbola raised her hand. Okay, Abimbola, you go. Ask your question. Hello, Abimbola. Do you want to ask a question?
I think she responded to when you said if you have filled the...
Oh, okay. She raised her hand. Okay. All right. Thank you, Abimbola, for filling. So we still have this Adunola, there's Odavole, there's TK Lomor, Demi, Oluwatobi. Yes. So is it just Abimbola? Please would like to, please, that's very important. So just kindly fill the form. It's not going to take much of your time. Maybe mostly 2 minutes, I think. Yes. So thank you so much for being patient. It's way past our time, but I want to believe you enjoyed this session. I actually did. I learned a lot from this session. Thank you so much for being present. Thank you for taking your time to be here. Thank you for thinking about improving yourself. Thank you for looking towards development as well. And we are also happy to have you in our Dynamites community. Yes, we like to call ourselves the Dynamites. So you're welcome to our community. Kindly go through those links and then follow up, okay? Thank you so much and do have a blessed and fun weekend. Thank you.
Sorry, just as a quick reminder, we'll be having our okay, you want to go ahead and share that, Joan?
You mean the general meetup?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I actually mentioned it. So we're going to have a general meetup sometime next month. And the dates, the time, and the venue will be communicated to you. It promises to be fun. You're going to learn, you're going to share. There are games, and of course, item 7. So please, would love you to be there. Would like to meet you. And people we've been relating with. So you're welcome. I've been a part of DUG already. It's already amazing. So we'll be happy to see you there. Don't forget to also, when we post it, of course, by then you should be a part of the WhatsApp group. So you actually get the link. You could invite your friends, though they're limited seats. So they'll have to hurry up and register like really fast. Yes. Sherry, is there any other thing you'd like to add?
No, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Have a blessed and fun weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
June, bye everyone.
Bye.